Tonight I Can Almost Hear the Singing. Poem analysis by Anna Abel and Essence Bailey. Poem by Sylvia Curbelo. There is a music to this sadness. In a room somewhere two people dance. I do not mean to say desire is everything. A cup half empty is simply half a cup. How many times have we been there and not there? I have seen waitresses slip a night's worth of tips into the jukebox, their eyes saying yes to nothing in particular. Desire is not the point. Tonight your name is a small thing, falling through sadness. We wake alone in houses of sticks, of straw, of wind. How long have we stood at the end of the pier watching that water going? In the distance the light curves along Tampa Bay, a wishbone ready to snap. And the night riding on that half promise, a half moon to light the whole damn sky. This is the way things are with us. Sometimes we love almost enough. We say, I can do this, I can do more than this, and faith feeds on its own version of the facts. In the end, the heart turns on itself, like hunger to a spoon. We make a wish in a vanishing landscape. Sadness is one more reference point, like music in the distance. Two people rise from a kitchen table as if to dance. What do they know about love? This poem by Sylvia Curbelo is a beautiful and meaningful representation of the sadness and loneliness a person's heart can feel while watching lovers surround them, but themselves not being able to love somebody. To reach the significance of this poem, we must explore a few literary features that contribute to the poem. Alliteration, assonance, consonants, in-stop, enjambment, caesura, rhythm and meter. To begin our analysis of this poem, we must note that it is written in free verse. It lacks common stress and meter. The author has used free verse to represent a feeling of disorientation from the absence of a romantic relationship that the narrator had wished for. Other contributors to the rhythm of this poem include the in-stop, enjambment, caesura, and word choice. The poem is meant to be read in a flowing yet slow manner in order to give a better sense of the longing and sadness that the narrator is feeling. To achieve fluidity, the poet chose her word choice carefully. For example, this is the way things are with us. Sometimes we love almost enough. The repetition of the S sound in these two lines creates a smooth flow from word to word. To keep the poem moving steadily, the author begins the poem using in-stop, but switches to mostly enjambment after 6 lines. For example, there is a music to this sadness. In a room somewhere two people dance. These 2 lines are examples of in-stop because they're both complete sentences ending with punctuation. They both show a natural type of pause that is caused by the ending of a sentence, whereas enjambed lines show a different kind of pause. Tonight your name is a small thing, falling through sadness. We wake alone in houses of sticks, of straw, of wind. These sentences are enjambed because they carry on to the next line. The enjambment of these lines create a pause that wouldn't feel natural if it wasn't adding to the mood of the poem, and creating an emphasis on the last word of each line. The author has used enjambment to add an emphasis on a small thing and we wake alone. The stress on a small thing is meant to show that the narrator is feeling more emotion towards the sadness that this person has left them with, rather than feeling more emotion towards their never-to-be lover. The emphasis on we wake alone is one of the many ways the author is trying to show the loneliness caused by the narrator's heartache. So enjambment and in-stop make up most of the rhythm in this poem, but there is one more feature that occurs. Caesura. Caesuras often occur alongside enjambment, and they are used to create a pause that strengthens the first word of the following line. Sylvia Curbelo uses caesura to draw attention to the similes in her poem. In the end, the heart turns on itself, like hunger to a spoon. She wants the reader to understand the power that the heart has over itself, and she does this by comparing it to hunger's power over a spoonful of food, and she emphasizes this even more by using a caesura. Moving on to the sound of the poem. The very similar yet slightly different poetic features that contribute to the sound of the poem are alliteration, consonants, and assonance. The first and only example of alliteration that we see in this poem is with the line, "watching that water." Alliteration can be defined as the repetition of the same beginning sound in closely combined words. The line is deemed alliteration by the repetition of the sound made by the WAT in the word watching and water. As for consonants, we have the line, "Seen waitresses slip." Consonance is a repetition of a sound in closely combined words, just like alliteration. But with consonants, the repeating sound can only come from consonants, and it does not have to begin the word. So in the line, "Seen waitresses slip," the repeating sound is the S in seen, waitresses, and slip. Lastly, assonance. Assonance is the repetition of a vowel sound in closely combined words where each repeating vowel has a different consonant before it. Going back to the lines, "This is the way things are with us. Sometimes we love almost enough." This pair of lines shows assonance in the words us, love, and enough. Even though the words are written with different vowels, they all make the same sound following a different consonant each time. All three of these devices, alliteration, assonance, and consonance, contribute to the sound of the poem by adding a soothing and fluid touch. The poem is meant to be read in a calm manner that is easily understood, and this is achieved by the sound that these devices contribute to the poem. Now that we have taken a deeper look at the literary features of this poem, hopefully its meaning is more transparent. Tonight I can almost hear the singing expresses the heartbreak and emptiness that the narrator feels when thinking about an impossible relationship that they desire. This is done in a slow and calm tone as if to express the weakness that such strong emotions can cause the human heart. The narrator has lost their will to speak at a normal speed with a normal flow of words because they are so entrapped in this almost love. Overall, we can see that the narrator has been taken over by these emotions caused by watching the loving relationships around them and remembering one who they loved but could never be with. These emotions encapsulate the narrator and carry them into a land of only wishes.